All right, so I'm going to just go through building a very simple but useful formula in total here. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to do the area of a rectangle, okay, which is area of a rectangle is length times width. Right? It's a very simple formula, but we're going to go for it. So there is a result for that, and there are two variables. There's length and width. We said it's length times width, so we also need a multiply node. Okay, that's really all we need to do this. There's no need for any more nodes than that to do something this simple. So we're just going to organize these in a logical way where I'm going to sort of keep my variables lined up along the top, the result sort of at the bottom, and we're going to flow downward or downward and to the right, just as an organizational tool. And so the multiply goes in the middle here. Okay, and now I'm just going to get the flow right, which is this. These two need to be multiplied together. And what I'm going to do, I used a series connection earlier, but in this case I'm going to use the funnel, which is a good way of sending multiple nodes into a single node. Okay, and the multiply does require A and B. So I select the destination first, and then the two sources. And then rather than hitting series, I hit funnel, or hit where the V key is the shortcut. Okay, and it pops up something new that you haven't seen before. This connection that I've asked it to do is potentially ambiguous, which is to say that from this I can hook it either into the A side or the B side. And so since it can't figure it out automatically, it's asking me to specify. And so on the left side, the from side, the variable node, I have all my available outputs, which is 1. And so I click on the out, and it gets a little green dot to show that that's the one I'm hooking up. And then on the to side, I need to pick where it's going to go. And it's got either the A input or the B input. I'm going to click on the A, and then it automatically moves on very quickly to the next connection, because I wasn't making 2 in a row here, which is that the other variable wants to go to the B side, so I do out and B, and then it disappears, and it makes both of those connections, okay? Because both of them were potentially ambiguous. And so here we go. I've got my 2 connections, A side, B side. And I'm just going to deselect everything, and then I'm just going to do a quick series from the multiply into the result. Okay, and this one it doesn't pop that up because there's no ambiguity. There's only one output from the multiply, and there's only one input to the result. There's only one connection that could be made based on that information. Okay, so I'm all connected up here. I've got all my requirements satisfied, and so I just want to set the properties for my variables, for useful, to make them intuitive and useful. So I select them both and bring up the inspector. They both get listed here, and I'm going to make one length and one width. And I'm going to leave the default values as 0 because there's no value in particular that would necessarily be correct as a default for a length and a width of an arbitrary rectangle. So I'll close those out. And now I'm just going to test it. I'm going to execute it. And so it says input variable input length value, and so we'll say it's 10 feet long. And width value, and we will say it's 5 feet wide, and it comes back and it tells me the result is 50, which is correct. The area would be 50. So this is good, and so now I never need to remember the formula for how to find the area of a rectangle again, because I've already built this nice little graph for doing it. So I'm just going to go into the File menu, Files or F, and then I'm going to save it, and I will call it area of rectangle.ndoc. Okay? And there you go. I never need to remember this again. I'll just new file, empty file, and then say, oh my gosh, I need to find an area of this rectangle. I don't remember how to do that. File, open. Here's my area of rectangle calculation. Execute it. The length is 5, and the width is 1, and the area, therefore, is 5. Whew! That was a complex formula. Good thing I never have to remember it ever again. Okay, so there you go. That's a simple, basic formula, example of formula, end-to-end, loading, saving, executing. Life is great.